If you're quiet, the master won't see you or hear you. We can sneak in and watch him work.
Welcome Reaper Mini fans. Today we have the Colossal skeleton. This is a huge skeleton giant and will look fantastic on your tabletop games. Today I shall be mounting this onto a 100mm base boss base. This is the newer bones equivalent. This miniature used to be cast in the original white bones, so now it's gone into the grey. I'm not sure if this is the bones black, the new plastic. There's like you've got your white plastic, which is your original bones, then you've got like a lighter grey, which is this one, and then you've got your darker grey, which is the bones black. Now I'm not sure, but all I know is anything that's not white, you can use a rattle can primer paint on these miniatures. So I shall be mounting this now. I will add the base and some gravel to the base, and then I'll use an army painter rattle can spray primer of bleached bone to get the main body painted up. Super simple, easy paint today. Skeletons are a whiz to fly through. They are super easy. So what I'll do today is I'll show you how to get this looking fantastic with minimal effort. So I'll come back and we'll start on that base. Okay, so we've got a nice coating of the skeleton bone from Army Painter from their rattle can primers. Dried perfectly, absolutely fantastic. I've gone and added my 100mm base boss base, and I've added those stones all around the base. Now, because it's mainly skeleton we're doing today, we're going to get all this bone done first. And what I'm going to do is cover the whole miniature in my brown ink wash first, and then we'll come back and we'll get on with the painting. So what we do with these size miniatures, especially when it's all bone, is we get that bone done first, and then we can go and paint the details afterwards. So we just work our way through the miniature that way. It makes it super easy and fast. So I'll come back once that ink wash is dried, and I'll show you how quickly it is to get these skeletons painted up. Okay, so this has just come out great. We've got all the brown ink wash and it's dried, and it already looks fantastic like a skeleton. But we're going to go one step further. I have got some dirty bone from MSP, and I've got some solid white from MSP. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm using a nice large dry brush. There's a nice soft head dry brush, so it makes it nice and smooth over the whole miniature. And we're just going to go over all those bones just to highlight the bones. And we do this first because then we can go over all our other colours later on. And it doesn't matter if we make a mess, because we'll be going over all the clothing and chains and parts of the body later on. Very simple, just going over all these areas where there's bone showing, and just highlighting the certain areas around the eyes, top of the head, where the light sources would be as well. Very simple. Simple as that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm adding a tiny bit of that white, mixing it on my little tissue there, and we're going back over just to highlight the tips of each one of these bones, just to make them a little bit more warm around the face and the eyes. There we are, perfect. Just on all the little joints of the skeleton. And that's all you need to do to make that skeleton pop and look awesome. There you go, beautiful. Simple as that. Look at that, love it. There we are. What I'll do is I will get this miniature all finished up, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, it's coming on quite well now. I've added all the basic colours there. We've got the greens, dark browns, light browns. We've got our silver for all the metal parts. So it's very simple now. We just go over all these areas with our ink washes, which will be browns on the material, and we go for a black ink wash onto the metal sword. And what we do then, we let that dry, and then we can start dry brushing again. I'll be dry brushing this plate on the floor, and this will be giving some greens. And the same with the belt, highlight the belt with a lighter brown. This will give that a nice worn effect. And that's about all we need to do so far. So we'll come back and I'll show you how we get on. So here is the finished Colossal skeleton. Absolutely beautiful miniature, and a nice simple paint, and it will look fantastic on anybody's tabletop. As you can see, I've finished off the base by adding a few highlights of green and a little bit of flocking. I highlighted all the belts and all the browns and the greens. I used more brown ink wash on the metal areas because I wanted to give it that very rustic old effect. If we'd left it with just the black ink wash, it would have looked too new, and as an undead skeleton you want everything to look worn and very, very old. So this came out exactly how I wanted it to. So I'm very happy with this, and this is this week's miniature by Reaper Miniatures. If you enjoy what I'm doing, then please hit that sub button. If you want to support the channel, you can become my patron. I also have a membership channel on YouTube, and you can join me there. All patrons are added to the end credits of all my videos. So until next time.
Goodbye, my fellow ones. Sleep well. Dream of evil paintbrushes.